Welcome to the Leadership Sparq Podcast, where we equip you to be the great leader your people deserve. It is Hampton and Corey here, and around Wild Spark, we talk about this quite a lot. It is the fatal leadership assumption. If you've been around for any time, you may have heard us talk about this on this podcast, but it's one of the ones that we need to remind ourselves and remind you as a listener about quite often. So what is the fatal leadership assumption?
Hampton, before we talk about the fatal leadership assumption,
yes,
and we're going to get to it, I promise, I wanted to help connect some dots, because if you listen to this podcast frequently, or today's your first time, you'll hear us say, we want you to be the great leader your people deserve. And of course we do. And that is the humane thing to do. It's the dignified thing to do. It's the empathetic thing to do. And your people do deserve that. But a lot of what we talk about, if not all of what we talk about, is also about increasing performance. And we want you as a leader to be equipped with everything you need to perform at the highest level, yourself as a leader, but to also develop your team to be able to perform at that level. And so when we talk about the fatal leadership assumption, if you believe this assumption that I promise you, I'm about to tell you, if you believe this assumption, it will block your team from performing at the highest level. And so that's why we share it. It's not an altruistic, theoretical thing. This is very, very pragmatic. And we believe that if you will be aware of an assumption like this and you will adapt your leadership, it will allow you to perform at a higher level. And so the fatal leadership assumption is that we believe everybody views the world the same way that we do. And so I don't know about you, Hampton. It doesn't take very long for me to realize that everybody doesn't view the world the same way that I do. And so let me make that more practical. Is when I assume everybody views the world the same way that I do, what I'm saying is that I believe that, Hampton, you're motivated by the same things that motivate me, that you like to be communicated with the same way I like to be communicated with. You deal with conflict the same way I deal with conflict. You're fearful of the same things I'm fearful of. You like to receive feedback the same way I like to receive back. Those are things that we do as leaders, maybe every day, right? And so if we assume that everybody views the world the same way that we do, or let's take feedback, everybody likes to give and receive feedback the same way that I do, then we will quickly hit a wall, because the reality is what?
Everyone's different.
They don't. Everyone is different. And so as a leader, we have to learn to adapt our leadership style and the way we engage to the person that we're leading. And I ran into this 2 weeks ago. I was having a conversation with someone outside of work. This had nothing to do with work. It actually had to do with baseball. And we were talking about coaches and how this coach is trying to get the maximum performance out of the players on their team. And at the end of the day, what it came down to was that I started talking about the fatal leadership assumption. I didn't use that language, but talking about how you have to lead everybody individually. And this person, who's very well connected and well known, said, that's very rare. And so I started to think, is it really that rare? Like, do people not understand that everybody needs to be engaged in an individual way? And if you want to increase or get the maximum performance out of someone inside or outside of work, that you have to engage people in that way. And he was like, no, it's very rare. But then I've heard college coaches, baseball coaches talk about it, right? But then it's like, is that really rare? I hope not, right? For the sake of the people that you're leading, that it's not rare, and that you are thinking about that individual. And so let me give you a go and do. And the easiest thing to do whenever you run into the situation to where you're either in an unintentional way or intentionally assuming everybody views the world the same way that you do, is to ask the question. The easiest thing that you can do is ask the question. And what I mean by that is, Hampton, I will come to you and say, Hampton, how do you like to receive feedback? Or Hampton, when I communicate with you, what resonates the most? Are there ways that I can communicate better that will be more clear, or you will receive in a way that makes the most sense for you? Or, hey, if we're ever in conflict, how do you deal with conflict so that I can learn how to adapt the way I engage you if we're ever in conflict? Or what motivates you? What's your why? And it's probably different than mine. But if I ask the question, you can give me intelligence that will allow me to lead at a different level and allow me to lead you effectively. And whenever you do that with everybody on your team, you aggregate that together, you can make big performance leaps. If you don't want your team to perform at the highest level, then don't do this. If you don't want it, then don't do it. Assume everybody views the same world, treat everybody the same, but you will see the impact on your team, and you will see the impact on yourself as a leader as well. And so the go and do, Hampton, for you and me, help me. Let's not assume everybody views the world the same way that we do. Let's take the time to ask the individual and to lead the individual in a way that will bring the best out of them.
Let's do it.